All right, everybody. Hey, we just finished recording today's episode. It was a pretty good episode. I thought it was informative. What do you think, Jordan?
Yeah, I thought so too. Just all the main reasons why we should continue working out as service members or just people in general.
Yeah, I think, we kind of went over all the reasons or a lot of the reasons why people don't work out or stay in shape after their time in service, and then a lot of the benefits of staying out or staying in shape when they get out, which really are probably at least more lifelong than they were when you were in the service.
Definitely.
In the service, you did it so you wouldn't die or someone wouldn't yell at you. Now you're doing it, for the benefit of yourself and your family. And we had in the studio with us today, we had Dana Healy, the owner of Warrior One Yoga Studio. One of the things she didn't mention that we wish she would have is that they have a big promotion going on right now that you do 20 days of yoga.
It was 10 days of yoga for $20.
Good. 10 days of yoga for $20 over at warrior1yogaspa.com.
And I'll go ahead and link that. I know I say that I'm going to link that in. There was certain time classes for that, so I'll make sure to put that in. Right
on. And so we also want to take a little bit of time and kind of mention our sponsors over at Bakersfield Real Estate Group, and that's BakersfieldRealEstateGroup.com with the team of Linda Benalis and crew, and then the folks over at Agape Mortgage at AgapeMTGCO.com. Those are our two main sponsors for the year, and without them, all this wouldn't be possible. So with all that said, let's let it roll.
When a new enemy attacked America on the morning of September 11th, 2001, they had unknowingly awoken a sleeping giant.
From all over the nation, men and women left their family and friends, their lives and their home, and answered the call to arms.
They came from north, south, east, and west. They became soldiers, Marines, sailors, airmen, and Coast Guardsmen.
As of today, hundreds of thousands of Americans have served for what is now their nation's longest war.
More and more of them are returning home, fighting new and personal wars on many different fronts.
But they are not alone, and they are not forgotten. Their battles are our battles. And while they fight these battles,
we are their Overwatch.
All right, everybody. Hey, this is Joe. Welcome to Overwatch. We have in the studio with us today, we got Jordan. Yep. Hello, Jordan. Hey, we got Wesley over there. Caw-caw. And then we got a special guest with us today, Army veteran Dana Healy, who is also the owner of Warrior One Yoga Studio here in Bakersfield, and we'll be talking to her a bit later. So we're running kind of a light crew, and I thought since Evan isn't here, I'd tell you a little bit about what he did to me yesterday, or maybe what he did to himself.
Well, that we got to keep it PG-13, right, or somewhere around there.
Yeah. So maybe this has happened to maybe I bet it's happened to you, and I'm constantly. So I have teenage daughters, and I'm constantly afraid that this is going to happen. But we're texting each other back and forth yesterday. We're talking about some things. And then all of a sudden I get this text from him that I can't even read it on the podcast because it would not be – we couldn't even edit it enough in order to put it on the podcast.
Oh, here, I'll read it.
So, but anyway, so inadvertently telling me I get how beautiful I look laying on the bed and this kind of thing. And I'm looking at it for a second. Like, and I said, hey, what's going on? And then I realized he's got multiple conversations going on. And so I wish he was here to explain his actions, but he's not here, and we're going to throw him under the bus anyway. Has that ever happened to you guys?
Man, all the time, man. I have several conversations going at the same time, and next thing you know, I'm like, hey, man, hey, can I see your tits or something, you know? And then like, oh, crap, that's my mom. Like, damn.
I mean, those are the actual conversations I have with Evan. So,
man, I'm constantly with our daughters now. You know, they're sharing, or my oldest daughter has her own phone, but my youngest daughter does not. So she'll often text me with her mother's phone, and so I'm always and you know. I don't know. We've been married 16 years. You know, sometimes we text each other, "Hey, I really love your eyes," or something like that. But I am constantly thinking. I'm afraid of if I'm going to tell my wife how lovely her eyes are, then I will text her, "Hey, make sure you have the phone first." So I have to have this precursor to romantic texting, and so we're married. There's nothing wrong with it. Evan's been married for a while. There's nothing wrong with it at all. I just I was a little embarrassed for him when I got that text yesterday. So, who's the worst person you've ever sent one of those texts to?
Who I've sent it to?
Yeah.
I think it's been a variation of people. I think my mom was the worst one.
Okay.
Like I sent something like let's go get shit faced basically, and my mom thought that I was sick because I told her I was sick because I didn't want to hang out with her. And
oops.
So,
the text told on you, huh?
Yeah. So the text ratted me out, and she was a little mad. Which, by the way, I gotta say today is my mom's 58th birthday. So happy birthday, Mom! I love you. So
very good. So that put her at about 45 when she gave birth to you?
Something like that, you know. I'm not gonna say, but I kind of ruined it for the rest.
We're not asking. We've seen Wesley do math on here before. We don't want to do that again. What about you, Jordan? You ever done something like that?
I know I have. Can't think of any time in particular. Pretty good about not doing it. It's kind of, I don't know. Well, I can't say that. Have to edit that out. Haven't been the nicest guy in the past to people, so try not to do that anymore. But having multiple conversations like that on my phone at the same time, it's not really my thing anymore.
Yeah, just the nature of my work, I'll have maybe 5 or 6 work conversations going on at one time, and depending on who you're doing business with, sometimes you get kind of heated or you have to be a little forceful. And I have inadvertently sent text messages where I was being really harsh with someone or to the wrong person that could have applied to the person that I was sending it to, and had to go backtrack. And I try to be careful because I have inadvertently sent texts that I thought I was texting my wife and sent it to someone else, but they were G-rated.
Yes, Joe, I received something from you, and I felt special, but I see how it is now.
Have I sent you a text?
You sent me a few, yeah.
Yeah. Well, hey, we all make mistakes, right? Yeah. And you actually found my shotgun.
Yeah, I found your shotgun. Right? Yeah, it was buried underneath all my crap. So.
Yeah, so I've been asking. I knew I loaned my shotgun out to someone, and I've been asking for about a week, like, hey, who has my shotgun? It's been so long, and who gave me a hard time about not keeping accountability in my weapons?
You should have kept accountability of it.
Yeah, it was Wesley.
That's a good point.
How many guns do you have?
And there he was, sleeping with it under his bed.
Well, I mean, I have my own shotgun. There's no need for it, but I was going through all my guns because I went to a camp out this weekend, and I came back. I'm like, I have an extra gun that I found in my stuff. I'm like, all right, well, I opened it up and it happened to be a shotty. So, yeah, my bad.
Yeah, well, that one actually is my dad. I only own one gun, and it's that shotgun. Veterans everywhere will sigh.
You only own, in quotations, you only own
one gun.
They say be fearful
the government
the man
knows
with
about.
one gun. He knows how to use it.
Yeah, but my dad gave me that when I was a teenager, and it's one of the only things I own that he gave me. It was a gun that he bought when he was a teenager, and so
you would think we would keep better accountability of that, don't you?
Yeah. So it's California. I can't even afford ammo for it. So, hey, so anyway, on the show today, we wanted to take time to talk about the benefits of exercise for our veterans. I know for myself, exercise, keeping a good diet has really been sort of a life changer for me in the last couple of years. I know I had injuries coming out of the military, and I think when I stopped working out, my level of fitness no longer compensated for
the belly increased.
Yeah. Thanks, Dana. I said be quiet until we introduced you in the second half. For those of you listening, that little bird chiming in is Dana Healy, and we'll hear from her later. So, what was I saying?
Something about you being fat.
Yeah. So I got fat, and my injuries were more pronounced when I was fat, right? And then as I started working out again, I noticed that it was still difficult dealing with the injuries, but my mood was also decreasing. You know, I even went through a time of depression when I was a counselor for veterans. I was experiencing my own depression, listening to people tell me their problems and talk about how bad their days were going, and hearing all that, and then going through this own depression myself. And one of the things that I had such a hard time explaining to veterans was their need to get out and be physically active again. So I think a good portion of us, maybe not everybody, but a good portion of us go through this period where we don't keep up the physical fitness like we did in the military. We don't eat as well, or we can't eat like we did when we were in the military.
Yeah.
So I pulled up a couple of studies. One of the studies here says inactivity is associated with many chronic medical conditions: hypertension, heart disease, diabetes, obesity, osteoporosis. We would say yes, of course, to all those. But it says these conditions can add to your feelings of depression and helplessness. Helplessness is oftentimes expressed feelings of PTSD sufferers. Exercise can release endorphins into your bloodstream that act as the body's natural painkillers and make you feel good. It's something we don't think about. A lot of us turn to all kinds of other things for those things. Alcohol.
Some people do weed, whatever.
Yeah, drugs. That study was by Carol Woodbury, CES. It's how exercise helps symptoms of PTSD. And you can go all over and find studies like that. The benefits of exercise and staying physically active and what they do for the mind. So I thought I'd ask you guys. So obviously everybody in the studio here today is pretty active. For those of you that haven't seen Jordan, how tall are you, Jordan?
About 6'1".
6'1".
Shut up. You ain't no 6'1". You're like 6'5".
No, I wish.
So I think you do look taller than 6'1", but I think it's just because of your size. What size is your chest? Last time you measured
Honestly, last time I measured it was
like a B cup.
Probably a B cup. No, last time I
You're
measured
a solid
it,
C.
I was still on active duty. It's probably a 58 last time.
You're 58, right?
That was probably 40 pounds ago. So, well,
I mean, you might
like
have a little in the
I
middle.
mean, he has his love handles, but he's
thank you, Wesley.
Yeah.
But we're talking like a
Love
solid.
handles.
I mean, you're a solid guy. You work out. You lift weights a lot. So, and then obviously, we've talked about this in the past. Wesley, you're an avid hockey player.
Yeah.
You do that. You're kind of going through a little recovery phase with some injuries and some big training.
Yeah.
That you had a couple weeks ago. But tell me, what are some of the things that you guys are doing for exercise?
For me, is getting back involved was a big deal for me, not just physically but mentally. I was when I first got out, I wasn't into the whole sports or athletic stuff. I just wanted to get out and rest. But I started getting into cycling and then lifting weights. And next thing I knew, I was on the ice skating around. So it helped me a lot in the physical part, but also in the mental part because I was going through the whole divorce and all that trash. So I was starting to look better, which meant girls were coming up to me and stuff like that. So that raised my morale a lot. So it made me not feel like such a dirtbag. So, yeah.
So those are all real secondary effects, right? So workout lots, feel great, and girls will come up to you.
Yeah, it works.
That's a formula right there.
And have prosthetic legs. They'll definitely come up to you like that.
Have prosthetic legs.
Yeah, definitely.
I wasn't going to throw
knows
that
how
out.
much Wesley's getting for his disabilities. So, went to Buffalo for a week and was by Fort Drum, and everyone was all over him.
Hey, man, it happens.
100% ladies.
Tricare.
Tricare, baby.
And what about you? So you're obviously a runner, Jordan.
Yes, all the time. No, I despise running. I'm in the gym every day, just pretty much lifting. If I do run, it's playing basketball. But other than that, it's pretty much just lifting weights for the most part.
Yeah. And so do you guys notice a difference in your mood if you have to miss a day or two?
Oh, yeah. I can't, when I don't work out or I don't wear the energy out of my system, I can't sleep till like 1 a.m. Like I'm up till 1, 2 a.m. Like I can't sleep, running around, going through my cookie jar, whatever, I just, I'm and I wake up being angry because I didn't sleep right. And I was restless, all that stuff. So when I work out, I do get rest. I actually go to sleep and I go into that deep resting sleep, and it helps me a lot better the next day. So,
yeah, I would say that's a great point. When I was counseling folks, that one of the biggest issues is veterans are having trouble sleeping.
Yeah,
and then you ask them, so tell me about your diet. What do you eat? And they're eating junk and
a giant burrito for breakfast.
Say, all that trash, right? So they're putting crap into their bodies, and then you ask them about their exercise, and for whatever reason, and I've heard every reason why they couldn't exercise, but they weren't, and so, but just trying to get them to flip that switch in their head that, hey, exercise would help you sleep. It would also help some people deal with excessive fatigue. And I've noticed, and we'll talk to you in a bit, Dana. We'll talk to you about this. But when I was there was a period of time where I was doing yoga probably about 4 days a week. I noticed that the amount of sleep that I needed decreased, and so I usually get up about 3:30 in the morning, and go to bed about between 9 and 10. And so I was finding that I was able to stay up until about 10 to 11 without being super exhausted. And so, yep, that's 5 hours. Yep. So you're going to, so that regulates it. There's another study out there that's going around as well, talking about, for folks that are having trouble getting their sleep cycle on track, folks that are having trouble sleeping, is that, 5 days in the wilderness with no electronic devices and going to bed and waking up with just the natural rhythm of nature will get your sleep cycle back on track. So there you go. I mean, you're outside, you're hiking, you're fishing, you're I don't know, whatever you're doing when you're out camping. If you spend 5 days doing that, then that will get your sleep cycle back on track. So sleep, another great reason just to work out.
Is that why you took us to Joshua Tree to church wars for
well, how did you sleep after that Joshua Tree trip?
Like crap. I was used to sleeping on rocks and pointing things, and next thing I know, I come home to a comfy bed and I couldn't sleep again.
You just need to get him one of those army green cots and he'll be all right.
Yeah, you can pull your army cot next time.
Yeah, my what?
Your army cot.
Oh, cot. Okay.
Did you guys snuggle?
So it was warm enough. There was.
We don't talk about what happens. what happens in Iraq stays in Iraq.
Yeah. So, what do you see? So I come across all kinds of reasons. You guys obviously have a lot of friends that are veterans. How many of those guys are working out consistently that you know?
Oh, for me, it's got to be in the minority. Most of them gave the reason that they're too busy. oh, I gotta work, I do this, I do that, which I understand. You work. A lot of these guys work 10 hours a day, and they're busted when they come home. They're done.
Mm-hmm.
So I understand that part, but taking 30 minutes every day, maybe, I mean, at least 30 minutes every day to go and lift a weight on purpose. Like not just to move it from one place to the other, but like to go do actual exercise to get your heart rate up, go sweat some bad toxins out of your system. Do some of that stuff, and some of the guys just rather not, because I understand, they're busy and they're tired, but that's the biggest excuse I get. I work too much. I'm too tired for that. So,
right. Yeah, a few guys I still talk to that I served with. I can think of maybe 2 or 3 that actively work out still. And other than that, it's just what Wesley just said about, oh, there's not time, and I hear that a lot. There's just not enough time in the day to make to the gym. I mean, all these, just 20 minutes makes a difference. All small workouts add up, so I don't understand the.
Yeah, I would say the exact opposite, that you don't have enough time to not work out. I was starting to feel lethargic. I was too tired. I didn't want to do anything. The kid would ask me to go to the park, and I didn't feel like, I didn't feel like I looked great. I didn't want to go out and be the fat guy running around at the park, with this kid and be like, just breathing heavy. And, the other thing that I struggled with was I was in great fitness, at a great fitness level when I was in, and then putting on some weight and those injuries kind of catching up with me. Yeah. I constantly thought I could just go back and do what I did. And so a mile into a run, I'd be hurting, I'd be exhausted, and then I'd just defeat myself.
And that's how you hurt yourself more, like a lot of guys, like for me, actually one of the things that actually you can ask any trainer or anybody who knows, who's done athletic, train athletes before, you can go at peak for about a max of 30 days, and that's about as long as you can go for your peak. I mean, you can go up and down and be on that level for a while, but your peak, your max. Look at the fighters, for example. You have fighters going through their thing, and they train. They have their training camps, but they don't go full on till about 4 weeks into that to have to fight. That's because your body won't handle that much. If you go 8 weeks of full on, your body will start breaking down in 4 weeks, and you start having injuries and this and that. So that's why they do those things for a reason, because your body can only take 100%. They can only take it about 30 days, and then stuff will start breaking down too. So
yeah, I know another big reason that I encountered is a lot of guys talked about resources. They don't want to run. A lot of guys have knee problems, back problems, ankle problems. Yeah, but I mean, just the cost of that, right?
Yeah, true.
So so I want to throw a couple resources out there for those of you that are listening. So there's a national organization. It's a nonprofit put on by veterans, for veterans, and it's called Catch a Lift. Right. And so if you have a 30% service connection or more, if you do the legwork to find the gym that you want to belong to, you can fill out their application, and they'll pay for 12 months of a gym membership, a CrossFit membership, a yoga membership. They'll even put a gym in your house. Isn't that right? We know someone here locally that had one put in their house, right?
Yeah, that's what I heard too.
So all over the states, you have Team Red, White, and Blue popping up. Mm-hmm. And they are just a fitness organization that matches veterans up with civilians in the community, and they're doing races and fun runs and all types of I think yoga classes, things like that together.
Yeah.
If you live here in Kern County, one of the things that we've been able to team up with Warrior One Yoga Studio, which is why we have Dana Healy here with us today, is we offer through Warrior One Yoga a free yoga class for all veterans and their spouses once a week. And so no better segue than Dana Healy. Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself? You're an Army veteran, correct?
Yes.
Don't worry, you can't mess this up.
No.
All right. Nobody can see you. Everybody's heard you laugh already. So just tell us a little bit about yourself and how you got into yoga. And then about the studio you opened, in February? The yoga studio. We were your first class, weren't we?
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yes. Well, I was in the Army for 3 years, from 2003 to 2005. Went straight to Iraq during the invasion time. And then after that, I was a civilian contractor for Blackwater in Iraq and in Afghanistan. So I totaled about 11 years in Afghanistan and Iraq. During the reason why I came home is because I hurt my back. I threw my back out. So, and just before that too, I got my yoga teacher's training because I would bodybuild all the time. And it came to a point where I was 29 and I was limping. My knee hurt. Everything was just stiff. And somebody gave me a yoga DVD in Iraq, and I'm like, oh, I'm not doing that yoga stuff. What is that? I thought it was a joke. I do the DVD, and it blows my mind how I can barely do anything. Because at that point, I'm thinking, I'm an athlete. I can do this. I could barely stand on one leg. So I decided to conquer it. And
well, I've learned that there's yoga, and then there's everything else. Yeah. Right?
So I came home and I used yoga for rehabilitation, and I believe I avoided back surgery, and I feel pretty good. I mean, my back hurts sometimes, but yoga is what I think holds me together, mentally and physically. So now I have a studio in Bakersfield. It's a all pure hot yoga studio, and I wanted to say something for the veterans. I think when a good friend of mine, Nicole Aguilar, said this, when you come to yoga for your body, your mind's going to catch up, and you're going to get the mental aspect. And when you come to yoga for your mind, vice versa. So you're going to get both aspects. You're going to come, you're going to calm down, you're going to de-stress, and you're going to get in shape. So I really feel like it's a good combination.
But now there's probably a lot of guys out there, and they're thinking, man, I'm not going to put a tutu or yoga pants on.
You'd be surprised.
Yeah, actually, I've seen a couple photos, and there are some guys out there that will wear the yoga pants and all that kind of stuff. But I mean, I've been in your studio, and there are real athletes that are actually in there, and so actual men. They're not all girly men, and they're doing hot yoga with you guys.
Because it's such a workout, you sweat your butt off. I mean, you get your heart rate is up. It's hard. It's not easy, and you're not just getting a good stretch. You're sweating out all the toxins, and you're systematically lengthening and strengthening your muscles and getting rid of all the toxins. And it makes you sleep like a baby if you do a good class. You're just done.
Yeah, and when she says hot yoga, she really means hella hot. That place is hot.
Yeah.
So
now, when you talk about the benefits of your back, if you go in there with an injury, is it going to hurt? When you do
No, I mean, we always say go at your own pace. You know your body. You go with your own limitations. The teachers are going to guide you with their voice. They may adjust you a little bit, but nobody's going to push on you. There's no pressure. And with anything, the infrared heat that we use, it penetrates the skin deeper and it aids in healing. So that's one of the major benefits to the heat.
Now, what about a guy like Jordan?
He'll be fine.
You see Jordan.
He'll just have a hard time trying to,
He's a big guy.
Big shoulders, right? tight shoulders.
So, well, I mean, I've done yoga before.
Not this yoga.
I've done yoga before. Yeah, it wasn't in your studio. We the football team I was on. We actually had a yoga instructor come out every Tuesday.
All major football teams do.
Well, you're right. And having muscle, it does make things more difficult. Muscle. You start to lose function if you put too much on, unless you actively try to do things to prevent it, like yoga. It's a lot of other things. Lots of different massage techniques you get, or getting adjustments that help prevent that. But
we're only as young as our spine is flexible.
Yeah, one of the things I appreciated about the class, and we did when I was doing yoga. Quite a bit. I was doing it over there at Warrior One, and one of the things I appreciated about the class is just how run at your own pace it was. Right? Yeah. It was. So if you're going to fail at yoga, it's going to be because you're comparing yourself to everybody else in the room. Right.
But nobody does that because when you're trying so hard not to fall, everybody's staring at their water bottle or themselves. Like you're in a sense, when I always say the standing meditation, you're just like, don't fall, don't fall, don't fall. No one's looking to the left or to the right.
Yeah. That was my point, was if you're going in there and looking around and you're worrying about what everybody else, you're going to have a horrible time. You're not going to be able to do the poses. You're not gonna be able to
you're
hold
not doing it right. So
and you're not doing it right. Yeah. But that's not the feel of those places typically.
No.
Like nobody, I was in a class where there's probably a 300-pound guy, a 70-year-old woman, athletes.
Yoga for everybody.
Yeah, and so I think that was one of the things I appreciated, and it was just hot. Yeah. I mean, I don't I sweat anyway, but I have never ever sweat in my life like that.
With your pink towel.
And so, hey, it was a beach towel. It was a beach towel.
You got 3 women in the house. I'll give you a pass.
It's pretty.
So I had to buy one of those yoga towels.
She said it was pretty, yeah.
So I didn't get made fun of. It was a beach towel, doggone it.
No, but I'm gonna put my input on this one because I was one of those people that was hesitant to try it, and I was like, man, stretching, I'm cool with that, I don't need that crap. But actually, I went and tried it out, and the first time I tried it, I went and got on the ice the next day or 2 days later, and I can tell you that I was not sore. I like no part of my body was sore. I just felt my body. Like I could feel the muscles that they were there.
Muscle aware.
Yeah, and like it was just like it was there. Like every movement that I did was there, but it didn't hurt. It wasn't sore. And when I got on that ice and I got on that sled, I was just balanced. My balance was just perfect. I mean, I did a lot of things I'd never done before, and that's why when I went to Buffalo for the training camp and then tryouts, that's why I went back to the studio and tried it out one more time. Just because I wanted that feeling again, which it did help a lot. So, So I mean, it works. I mean, it worked for me. I don't know if for everybody, but yeah.
Yeah. So transition, from Overwatch to Wounded Heroes Fund. One of the things we've tried to put together, quite honestly, kind of unsuccessfully, are exercise groups, workout programs, and I just don't think people are catching on to the benefits of doing these things. Anytime you go and start a new workout program, the first week or two, it's probably going to suck. I mean, if you haven't been doing anything for a while, I mean, am I right? Mm-hmm. There's nothing but if you can get past that week or two, whatever it takes to kind of kick that body back in, the effects are going to be tremendous. Wouldn't you say?
Well, I would say that like the first day you go to yoga and you like realize you can't touch your toes and your body is screaming the next day, like there's your sign. This is what the doctor ordered. I need to come back.
I think the big issue with that is as a population, everyone's looking for instant gratification.
Yeah.
So you go in, you're there for a week, you may not notice anything, but I'm sore now. So why keep doing this if all I'm gonna get out of this is sore?
I like getting sore. It means I tried. It means I did something different.
Oh, not necessarily, but I know where you're going with that. It's just everyone's looking for instant gratification, and or they're balls to the wall. They're balls to the wall for the week, and they just burn themselves out, and it's they just don't look at it like, I got out of shape so fast. Why is this taking so long? That's the
kind of like the New Year's
mentality that most people have.
Kind of like the New Year's people that go to the gym. They go to the gym for like the first week or two. I mean, they're going hard. I mean, they got all the proteins. They got all the pre-workouts. They're doing all this, all that.
The New Year's memes.
Yeah,
well, that's just
and by January 12th, they're all smoked out and they're gone.
Someone told me that those major gyms they mess with their scales. So like right when you come in for your New Year's resolution, suddenly everybody's 10 pounds heavier.
I've heard that before. I've never really set a weight on the scale to see if it was zero to check that. It wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah.
But the problem with working out as a society, you just get on the internet, look around, you see this celebrity lost 20 pounds in 5 days, and that's what everyone wants. It's media selling a product that's not attainable.
Yeah, and if you can hire a chef and get all the supplements and all
it's not healthy to lose more than 2 pounds per week.
That.
Right.
Well,
right.
I mean, I did for going for that camp. I mean, I lost a crap load of weight, and I mean, my belly went down big time. I mean, but then again, I was eating like healthy food every single day for 3 weeks. I was working out 2-3 times a day.
Wow.
I mean, it didn't come just because I was on a diet. No, it was a lot of freaking work put into that weight loss and that trim that I did.
And if you're gonna lose weight fast like that, you really got to have a lot of time to put into it.
Exactly,
right?
yeah. So
because
you
gotta
cooking
be
alone.
happy with the slow.
Yeah, cooking alone took hours out of my day. So yeah.
Oh, I hate to cook.
Yeah.
Most people cook every day, Wesley.
Hey man.
I know. Yeah.
I mean,
gonna muscle
I
down.
do too. I do too.
So
you know.
So now Dana. So over at Warrior One, we were talking about earlier. We got something going for veterans that can come on over there. Why don't you tell us about that?
So besides, it's 15% off our memberships if they want to become a member.
Shameless plug.
And but every Tuesday at 7:30 to 8:30 a.m. it's free for veterans and their family.
Right. So veterans and their spouses can go in. And you run that class. Now, is that a hardcore class?
No, it depends on the class. Sometimes I make it restorative. Sometimes I make it hard. It just depends on how the feel of the room.
Yeah. So, and that's every Tuesday, 7:30 to 08:30. Veterans and their spouses. Now, are there other people in that class as well?
No.
No, just veterans and their spouses. That's pretty cool. So I think, just for our listeners' sake, I'm pretty interested in seeing Jordan in the class next Tuesday.
Yeah.
So maybe this coming Tuesday. So what is that, the 5th?
Yeah.
August the 5th. We have everybody from Overwatch does the class.
Fourth.
So it's a little early in the morning for me.
I won't be in town.
Are you in Guatemala next week?
Yeah, I am.
Okay.
I'm in Guatemala for a few days. So.
Okay. So
it's a little early for me.
7:30 to 8:30, man. We just make it working hours.
Yeah. You'll get paid to go work out, bro.
So
the VA don't pay me enough for that.
But so you're taking off for Guatemala.
I am.
Business, pleasure, what are you doing?
Pleasure, all pleasure, man. I'm originally from over there. I was born over there. So I have a lot of family and connections over there. So I try to go every once in a while, visit, have fun, fish. I mean, fishing is great. So that's what I'm going for. I'm just going to go have fun and see what happens.
Cool.
Yeah, man.
Well, have a great time. Be safe.
Will do.
Don't come back with more than one wife.
I will do my hardest. I'll try my hardest, but can't make it that promise, though.
All right. Well, hey, Dana, thanks for being in the studio with us today. What do you think about kind of a cool place?
I think it's a really, really cool place. I didn't know it was here.
Yeah, I know. I was really sad to hear that you didn't even know about the podcast.
Yeah, she's not a listener, so
no.
Now I am.
She is now, and she's going to tell all her friends about it. Right?
Yes, yeah. I'm posting on Facebook as we speak.
Is she like us now? Is she follow us on Twitter?
I don't know.
Are you a YouTube subscriber? What all are you already in? Come on.
I don't need.
So
I think she just added us on the podcast app.
Yeah, there's a YouTube thing too. See, I don't know this stuff.
Hey, so the whole point of all today was if you're not working out, you really should be. There's not really a good excuse for you to not spend the time on yourself. It's good for your body. It's good for your mental health. It's good for your family. You're going to be a nicer person. You're going to be easier to deal with. And you're going to be around longer for your loved ones, for your spouse and for your children. If you're having trouble finding a way or getting motivated, then contact some of these other organizations. Contact Team Red, White, and Blue. Contact Catch a Lift if you need help with finances, getting a gym.
I would say contact Evan, but that's only if you want to be put to shame.
Contact Evan?
Yeah.
I know. I wish he was here. He's not here today.
That dude's a beast,
That guy is a beast in the gym.
He has his moments.
Jordan's a hater today.
Man, he's talking about grumpy, huh?
I know, right?
I've lived with Evan a couple times. I'll give it to him. He's strong.
Who can do more pull-ups?
Well, I mean, Evan's missing a couple limbs. Makes it a little easier.
Evan's missing like half or 3/4, you know. So yeah,
got all the upper body strength and half the body.
Yeah. So, but anyway, so if you're having trouble with your finances, if you need, if you just want to get plugged in with some other people that are going to have a good time doing that with you, give the folks over at Wounded Heroes Fund a call. Give Dana a call over at the studio. Dana, what's you got a website and a phone number over there for people to ask questions?
661-873-3261 at www.warrior1yogaspa.com.
And that's the number one, not spelled out, right?
And
so
I'll go ahead and put that in too for all the listeners.
Right on.
Thank you.
Well, hey, for all of us here at Overwatch, for Wesley, for Jordan, for Evan, Julio, and Chad, who are not here today. For myself, thanks for coming on out and listening to us. And we are out.
Caw-caw.